I'm going to show you guys how I made my delicious honey buffalo glazed chicken sandwich. For the ingredients, we're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. If you don't have all-purpose flour, you can definitely use self-rising. For the seasonings, I'm going to use 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, and a little bit of the ranch seasoning. Also, we're going to need buttermilk and ranch seasoning. I sliced up 2 chicken breasts, and I'm just going to pour over the buttermilk and half of the seasoning because the rest of it is going to go in the flour mixture. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the ranch seasoning. You do not want to overly salt your chicken. And I'm also going to add in some black pepper, 1 teaspoon of that, and then I'm going to mix it together. And I'm going to let it marinate for about 20 minutes. And I'm going to start on my other I'm going to start on getting the flour mixed in with the seasoning and making the sauce. So once I put the chicken to the side, I'm going to add my seasoning into my flour, and I did end up using all of the seasoning in the flour, but I'm just going to mix my flour. Once I'm done mixing the seasoning into the flour, I'm just going to set my flour aside, and I'm going to start on the honey buffalo glaze for the chicken. So I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, about a cup of hot sauce, and 2 spoons of honey. And I'm just going to wait for everything to dissolve. I'm also going to squeeze in some lemon juice, about 1 tablespoon. And I am going to remove all of the seeds that fell in the pan. I'm just going to remove that, and then I'm going to stir everything until the butter melts and everything just combines together. And it doesn't take long. As you can see here, it is done and combined. So I'm just going to turn my eye off, or you guys can set it on your eye. Some eyes have a warm spot, but you can keep your sauce warm. But anyway, I'm just going to dip my chicken in my flour mixture and get it well coated with the flour. I'm going to just make sure the flour is well coated and on all parts of the chicken. And I am using chicken breast, but I already have my oil heating up, and I'm just going to add it into my oil. And my oil is not on high, it is on medium heat. You do not want to fry your chicken too fast, but I'm just going to flip it during the cooking process, and I'm just going to continue to flip it back and forth because you don't want your chicken to just burn in the grease. That is what happens when you don't flip your chicken. So yeah, once my chicken's done, I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to repeat the process for my other chicken breast. I'm just going to make sure this is well coated with the flour mixture. And I'm just going to remove any excess flour, and I'm going to add this piece to the grease again. And I'm just going to repeat the process. I'm just going to move the chicken back and forth, making sure it doesn't burn. And I'm just going to fry this chicken until it is done. Now that the chicken is done, I'm just going to remove it and place it on the napkin. So once I've fried all of my chicken, I'm going to start dipping them into the sauce. As you see, some of the sauce is gone because I did the other chicken, but I'm just going to add some ranch to my toasted bun, and I'm just going to add my chicken breast, and I'm going to add some jalapenos, but you guys can put whatever you want to put on your sandwich. And I'm just going to top it off with a top bun and some ranch. And this is how I made my honey buffalo glazed chicken sandwich. I hope you guys try this recipe. Make sure you guys subscribe and like this video. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And I hope you guys make this, and it was really easy and simple and delicious. Adios. I'm going to show you guys how I made my easy and delicious carne asada tostadas. For the ingredients, we're going to need some chuck roast beef, and I just cut mine into small pieces. We're also going to need 1 small bunch of cilantro. We're also going to need a half of an jalapeno and 3 garlic cloves. And for the seasonings, we're going to need a half a tablespoon of onion powder, a half a tablespoon of cumin, a half a tablespoon of Mexican oregano, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And we're just going to be using some lemon juice from 1 lime. And also we're going to be using 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm just going to add my seasonings to my meat. And I'm also going to add my lime juice. And I'm just going to add in my cilantro, jalapeno, and my garlic cloves. And I'm going to add in my oil. You guys can use olive oil or avocado oil. But I'm just going to mix my carne until it's until everything is really well combined. And you guys can add birria carne. You also can add chili powder, but I didn't have any. So yeah. And you also can add garlic powder. But I have a recipe on my channel of how I made my carne asada, loaded potatoes. I have all the seasonings that I put in the carne asada on that video. But yeah, but this carne asada was also good. But I'm just going to place my carne asada or my carne into my refrigerator and let it marinate for about an hour. And if you can let it marinate overnight, that's better. But now I'm just going to mix up my pico de gallo. I just used 1 tomato, about 1 small onion, half of 2 jalapenos, and 1 bunch of cilantro, and it was a large bunch of cilantro. I also added in a half a teaspoon of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of salt. But I'm just going to set my pico de gallo in my refrigerator, and to go on top, I made some salsa verde. If you want recipes to my salsa verde, I have some on my channel. But yeah. But now I'm just going to fry my tortilla for my tostada, as my tostada. But yeah, I just poked holes into my tortilla so that it wouldn't like fluff up too much. And then I'm just going to fry it. It fries really quickly. But I'm just going to flip it to the other side. And once your tostada gets nice and brown, you can just take it out. And I'm just going to place them in my pan on a napkin. I'm just going to continue to fry the rest of my tostadas. I'm just going to repeat the process again. But once my tostada is nice and golden brown, I'm just going to remove it. And this is how all of my tostada looks. And in a pan, I'm just going to add some avocado oil or olive oil, about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And I'm just going to add in my carne. I just let my oil heat up for a little bit, making sure my eye was not too high. Make sure you guys don't have your eye on high because you don't want to burn your food. But I'm just going to add my delicious carne into my pan. And I'm just going to mix my carne. And after I placed my carne in my pan and started stirring it and it started cooking, it smelled so good. It really did. But when you guys cook your carne, your kitchen will smell so delicious. But I'm just going to mix my carne around, making sure every piece of meat gets cooked. But this is how my carne looked after about 3 minutes. And as you can see, my carne is almost done. But yeah, at this point, my carne is done. Just cook your meat until you see no more pink and you know that you cooked it for a good amount of time. But yeah. And also make sure you taste as you go to see if you need more seasonings. But I'm just going to set my carne to the side and I'm just going to begin fixing the tostadas. I'm just going to spread some frijoles on the tostada. You guys can add as much as you want. And I'm also going to be adding some mozzarella cheese. I'm just going to sprinkle over my carne. And now I'm just going to be adding some pico de gallo. And you guys can add as much as you want. But this pico de gallo was so delicious. The combo of the pico de gallo and the salsa verde was so delicious. You guys have to have this when you're eating this carne asada tostada. But yeah, this is how my carne asada tostada came out. And they were really, really good. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me make my carne asada tostadas. And I hope you guys try this recipe. Make sure you are subscribed to me and give me a thumbs up. And make sure you guys are following me on Instagram and TikTok. Adios. I'm going to show you guys how to make some delicious crispy tortitas de papa y queso. For the ingredients, we're going to need 9 russet potatoes cut into cubes. The smaller that you cut your potatoes, the quicker that it boils. We're also going to be using some turkey pepperoni. I use 17 slices, but you guys can use more. And you can also use ground beef or chicken for this dish. And I'm also going to be using 1 cup of mozzarella cheese. And for the seasonings, I'm just going to be using 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon and 1 tablespoon of salt, along with 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And make sure you guys are careful when you're seasoning with salt and chicken bouillon. Make sure you guys taste as you go. But I'm going to be using 3 eggs also. And to those 3 eggs, I'm going to be adding 4 tablespoons of water. We're also going to need 1 small bunch of cilantro chopped. And we're also going to be using panko breadcrumbs, and I just added 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon. Not 1 teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon for the panko breadcrumbs. And we're also going to be using 1 can of hatch chilies. Here I have my water, and I just added about 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to add in my potatoes, and you want your water to cover your potatoes, and then I'm just going to add them all into the pot. And I'm just going to let my potatoes boil for about 15 minutes. If you cut yours smaller, maybe about 10 minutes, just making sure you guys check it with a fork. If the fork goes all the way through, then they're done. But yeah, at this point, my potatoes have been cooking for about 8 to 10 minutes. And yeah. And this is 15 minutes, and I'm just going to check my potato, and it's done. The fork went through, so I just drained the water off of my potatoes. I drained the water off my potatoes. Now I'm just going to add them into my bowl. And for this recipe, you guys do not want to add any liquid or any kind of liquid into your potatoes. You want them just to be dry like this. Don't add any water or anything. It's just going to break your potatoes down, and the recipe isn't going to come out right. But yeah, make sure you guys drain all of your water from your potatoes. The potatoes should be dry, as you see here. But yeah, here I have my potatoes, and I'm just going to begin to mash them with a fork, or you guys can use a potato masher or whatever you have. If you guys want small chunks of potatoes in your stuff, then you don't have to mash them that much or like smush them down that much. But I'm just going to mash my potatoes, and it's really easy to mash down your potatoes because it's soft. But I'm just going to continue to do it. And at this point, my potatoes are almost smashed, most of them. But like I said, you guys do not want to over salt your food, or you don't want your food to be too salty. So I suggest you guys just start off with a half a tablespoon of salt and a half a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and taste it. If it needs more seasoning or more salt, then just add the remaining half a teaspoon of salt, or half a tablespoon of salt, and the other half a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. But yeah. And make sure you guys let me know what you want to see me make next, or if you want to see a day in a life vlog or get ready with me. Just let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. And yeah, but we're going to go in with our cheese. You guys can use any cheese that you want, as long as it's like stretchy cheese. But I'm just using mozzarella, 1 cup of that. You guys can use Mexican cheese. You can use any stretchy cheese, like I said. But I'm just going to add all of my ingredients in. My mozzarella, my pepperoni, my seasonings, my cilantro, and my chiles. But I'm just going to be using 1 can of the chiles. And I'm just going to mix everything together until it's well combined. And let me know if you guys ever made tortitas de papa y queso, But yeah, this is my first time making it, and it came out really good. And yeah. But I'm just going to mix it really, really good. And for your oil, you want to make sure it's at the right temperature. You want to make sure that your oil isn't on high or it isn't too low, because that temperature, the wrong temperature, can make your potatoes absorb the oil and then it doesn't come out right. But yeah, make sure you guys make sure your oil is hot enough, because you don't want to mess up your recipe. And make sure it's not too low or high, but you just want to have the right temperature. So yeah, because your potatoes will absorb oil and you don't want that. So guys, make sure you do a tester before you place it in your oil. But yeah, I'm just going to mix the seasonings into my panko breadcrumbs. And you guys, make sure you season your panko breadcrumbs with the measurements that I gave you, because you do not want you want your food to have flavor. But I'm just going to set that aside, and I'm going to mix my 3 eggs. I'm just going to mix it really good. And to these 3 eggs, I'm going to be adding 4 tablespoons of water, just so that the mixture will be easier to dip the potatoes in, and that the egg mixture won't be too eggy and then too eggy and thick. You just want to thin your eggs out a little bit by using the water. So that's why I put the water. I'm just going to be adding the remaining 2 tablespoons of water. And I'm just going to mix that really good. And now it's time to start forming the potatoes. So here I just have a measuring cup. You guys can use any measuring cup you want, or make your tortitas de papa any size that you want. I just used a half of a measuring cup. And as you see, I added a little bit more in there, but I just ended up doing half of my potato, doing half a cup for my potato mixture. And yeah, I'm just going to press a little bit in the middle so that I can place my cheese. And I'm just going to place over or cover my cheese with a potato, making sure my cheese stays in the middle. I'm just going to form it. But like I said, you guys can make your tortitas de papa any size that you want. But if you wanted to go around, then just make them smaller than what I did right here. But yeah, but to the rest of the potatoes, I'm just going to use half a cup of the potato mixture. And once my potato looks like this, I'm just going to start dipping it into the egg mixture and then the panko. And yeah, I'm just going to dip it into the egg and the panko mixture. And I'm just wiping my hands so that I won't have that egg mixture and put it inside the panko. But yeah, I'm just going to place some panko crumbs all over my potato cake. But I'm just going to make sure it's well coated in panko because it needs to be. This is the coating and it's going to be fried in panko. But the panko makes it really crispy and just delicious. And I'm also going to make sure I get the sides. And I double dipped my first one in the egg mixture and then in the panko again, but that is optional. You guys can do that if you want, but it's optional. But yeah. And I'm just going to wash my hands. And I'm just going to place the panko on my potato cake, making sure it's well coated as I did the first time. And I'm also going to make sure I get the sides again. But I'm just making sure that it's well coated and that it's covered with panko. But I'm just going to place my potato cake on my pan, and I'm just going to continue the process with the rest of the potato mixture. I'm just going to grab some potato mixture with half a cup of measuring cup. And I'm just going to form it, and I'm going to make a little center, or like press a little center so that I can place the cheese in there and that it stays there in the middle. But I'm just going to add in my mozzarella cheese, and then I'm just going to cover it, making sure that the cheese stays in the center so that when you open your potato cake, it's like you can like pull apart cheese action in the center. I'm just going to form my potato cake, and I'm just going to dip my cake inside my egg batter, making sure, like, when you put your potato cake in your egg mixture, make sure you guys are careful because these are like fragile potato cakes. But yeah, but you just want to roll them in panko. Make sure they are really coated well. But like I was saying about the oil, make sure your oil is at the right temperature, not too hot and not too not too hot to the point like it's smoking, and yeah, but or not, definitely not too low. But you guys should do a tester first and see how that goes. But yeah, just make sure your oil is hot enough, because if you put your potato cake in there and it's not hot enough, then it's just going to absorb the oil, and you don't want that. But I'm just going to do the rest. I'm just going to make a little center and place my cheese. And make sure you guys are following me on my Instagram. It's the same as my channel, La Fantasy. But yeah, make sure you guys please go follow me on my Instagram, and also follow me on TikTok. And yeah. but I'm just going to add it into my egg mixture. And I'm just going to add it into the panko mixture and make sure it's coated really well in the panko. But yeah. And make sure you guys go leave a comment on one of my videos or one of my reels that I posted on Instagram, saying that you came here from YouTube. That will be very appreciated. But I'm just going to continue this process with my potatoes. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to add some cheese. And yeah. But let me know if you guys want to see me make conchas, like homemade conchas, or some homemade flour tortillas. Just let me know what you guys want to see me make. Just add it in the comments and just tell me. But yeah. And let me know if you guys want to see like any vlogs or something like that. Or like behind the scenes of how I set up before I start recording. And just things like that. Or like a grocery haul. Or like me going to the store and getting the groceries. Yeah. Just let me know in the comments. But I'm just going to make sure my potato cake is well coated in the panko crumbs. And I'm just going to remove any of the excess crumbs. And I'm going to place it in my pan. And I'm just going to continue the process. If you guys want, you can skip this until I start frying it. But if you want to continue to watch it, then you can. But yeah. If you guys like this recipe, make sure you give me a thumbs up for this recipe. And make sure you guys share tell everyone about my channel. Your friends, your family. But yeah. I'm going to be uploading more content or like more videos, content on like recipes and more videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I also post shorts, but you guys can go check out my shorts on my channel. And yeah. But I'm just going to form my potato pancake, or like not pancake, oh my gosh, my potato cake. And I'm just going to place it in the egg mixture. I'm just going to place it in the panko mixture. But let me know if you guys want to see me make some agua frescas, because I will definitely make some agua frescas. I posted a horchata recipe, just a horchata recipe on my channel not too long ago. But let me know if you guys want to see me make like a chocolate horchata or something like that, or like a strawberry horchata. Just give me some drink ideas, you guys, that you guys want to see, and just put it in the comments. Let me know. But now I'm finally done with all of my cakes, and I actually have a plate of cakes also. But here I already fried some off camera, and those didn't work out because my oil wasn't at the right temperature and they absorbed with the oil. So I don't want you guys to make the same mistake that I did, but my oil is nice and hot right now. But it's not too hot where it's smoking and it's going to burn the house down. But yeah. But I'm just going to cook these for about 1 minute or until they're golden brown. And at this, the temperature that I have it on, which is at like a 8 or like a medium to high heat. I'm just going, it cooks quickly and like you have to stand there and like watch it because it's already brown right now. But I'm just going to flip it. Once you see that it's golden brown, you're going to want to flip it. It doesn't take that long to cook. But yeah, about 1 minute or until they're golden brown. But I'm just going to remove this potato cake. I'm going to remove it from the oil and drain off the oil and the excess oil. I'm just going to add them onto my platter, which I have a napkin down, or you guys can use a rack if you have that or if you want to use that. But I just used a napkin, and I'm just going to add in my other potato cake. And like I said, they cook really quickly, so I'm going to cook mine for about a minute or until it's golden brown. And yeah. And as you see here, you can see the edges of the potato cake. It's gotten it's golden brown at this point. And so I'm just going to flip it over and let the other side get golden brown. And I'm just going to let it fry. But at this point, I'm just going to remove my potato cake and making sure to drain the any of the remaining oil that we don't want. But that's why I placed it on a napkin so it could soak up the oil that's not needed. But this was my first potato that I showed you guys how I formed and stuff like that. But it's the biggest one. But I'm just going to place it in there. And as you see, the sides are slowly getting golden brown. But yeah. So I'm just going to let this cook just like I let the other ones cook. And I'm just going to flip it over to let the other side cook. And this recipe is perfect for a party or just like a dinner. But yeah, these turned out really crispy and delicious. Hope you guys try this recipe. Let me know if you guys are going to make this recipe. Let me know in the comments. But I'm just going to remove my potato cake from the pan, and I'm just going to add the other one, or I'm just going to add the rest of the potato cakes into the oil and let it fry until it gets golden brown. And it got golden brown really quickly. That's why you guys should not look away from the pan. You should don't leave it cooking by itself, then it'll burn because it cooks really fast because of the panko crumbs. But I'm just going to gently flip it to the other side. And I'm just going to let it cook until it's done. Like I said, it cooks really fast. And I'm just going to take it out right now because it's done. And I'm just going to place it on my pan that I lined with a paper towel. to get the excess oil that we don't need off of our food. And I'm just going to continue to fry my potato cakes until I have fried all of them. But you guys just saw how fast that cooked. So now I'm just going to make sure to cook the other side. I'm just going to flip it over. And if you want this as an appetizer, you guys can make this like smaller and like have it at a party. But yeah, it'll be perfect just like that. Or you can make it for dinner for your family and just make it about the size of mine. But yeah, after I'm done frying all of my potato cakes, I'm just going to plate them. I'm just going to add my potato cakes on my plate. And for the topping, I'm going to be using salsa verde and sour cream. You guys can use whatever toppings that you want to put on your tortitas de papa. But I'm just going to garnish with some parsley. For color. And I'm just going to show you guys the inside. This is how the inside looks. It was super cheesy and it was super crispy. But yeah, this is how I made my tortitas de papa y queso. I hope you guys try this recipe. Let me know if you guys tried this recipe in the comments and let me know how it came out. And make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Make sure you guys give this video a like. Make sure you guys are following me on my Instagram, which is La Fantasy. Make sure you guys are also following me on TikTok, and it's also La Fantasy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. Adios.